This is the DNA Pest Control Podcast with your hosts, Daniel and Anthony.
All right. Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's days and weeks have been great during these times of turmoil and uncertainty. But today I want to talk a little bit about sales. To give you guys a little bit of background on me, and, this is Daniel. I'm the D out of the DNA. Real quick, Anthony, unfortunately, he's not dead. I know everyone thinks that I say it like that, but he's not here with us today. We will get him back on the podcast shortly. Work has been very crazy for us over here, so he's been out running a route. I'm sure he's having a lot of insight and ideas. So when he gets back in here, I'm sure he's going to tear it up, guys. But today I wanted to talk about sales and a little bit of background on me and what I have in the sales, in my sales history is, when I turned 18, I went out and did door-to-door sales for a company called Pinnacle Security. They are no longer around. They do not exist. They sold out to Protection One a few years ago. But they were one of the biggest sales companies, door-to-door sales companies at the time. They had a massive group of guys. I think there's some other companies now that are getting up close to the numbers that they had of guys, but that company was just massive. And so I went out, I did two summers with them, and then I left. I came back, and then I jumped into the pest control industry. It actually started with door-to-door with the company that I own. So I wanted to just go over a few things because I've actually got to do a lot of different types of sales and selling, and so I have quite a bit of different experience in all sorts of industries and ways. So I've done cold calling where I'm just calling people. I've done cold calling where I'm just knocking doors. They have no idea that I'm going to be showing up. I've gone to estimates. I've done phone sales. I've done message sales where I'm either getting messages through whatever, form, text message, whatever, and I've sold people that way as well. So I wanted to talk a little bit and make it very relevant to technicians. In these times, it is very important that we step up and we gain more skills. We have the time to do it. We can't go out and be stupid, go to bars, do anything like that. So we have more time to ourselves to do very important things, whether you choose to or not. Now, I do suggest doing that because you're just going to expand your knowledge and your paycheck at the end of the day. Depending on how your company structures things here, we pay our guys for sales. So if they go out and generate a sale or they go to an estimate and sell, they get paid for that if they close them. And so it's very important that they know how to sell and they know what to do. If they don't know how to sell and they start losing those estimates, eventually we take those off of them. And then we work on their sales skills, and then we slowly start putting them back onto that person. So I wanted to talk about a huge main sales revenue for companies like pest control, and that is estimates. So when the company, normally like me, we dump money into generating estimates. If we do not close those estimates, we are now out all that money of advertising. And so it is crucial that my guys are signing people up or me signing people up. And so I wanted to walk through the steps of sales and selling. Guys, when you're going to an estimate, I know everyone's scared of the word sales. Oh, sales. I'm not a salesman. I'm a technician. I wasn't hired to sell. I'm hired to tech. No, guys, you know what? Unfortunately, in life, we're all salesmen, saleswomen. We're salespeople. When you have a girlfriend, you have a wife, you're a kid, and you want something, what are you doing to get that thing? to get your way. You're selling that person on your idea. You're convincing them to choose your idea over their idea. In whatever tactic, whatever way, whether that was crying at the time, freaking out, getting mad, silent treatment, whatever you do to get your way, that was one of your sales tactics to get them convinced to choose your idea, your way over somebody else's. And so I want you to keep that in mind when we're talking about that today, that when you're not, even on estimates, you're not technically selling anybody. You are trying to convince them to use your service, but you have to be sold on your service. You have to know and be proud of what you do. If you're not going to be able to close. If you're second guessing what you do, you're not going to be able to close. And so, it is very crucial that you gain the confidence in your own service, in the company's service, in the company's ethics and ways to be able to actually convince someone to jump onto your service and not somebody else's. I can't tell you how many times I've stolen customers from other companies. I know this podcast, we want to make it for everybody, but sales is competitive. So if we ever took your customers, sorry about that. But I've taken a bunch of clients from other companies out here, and it wasn't necessarily because, I was ruthless and I lied and I, deceived. And that's what sales was a few years ago. When I first got into it, when I was 18, that's exactly what I was taught to do. If you wanted to sell, you had to lie, you had to deceive, you had to trick people into letting you in their house. And then you would hold back information up until the very end. And so, it's just crucial that, nowadays it's a whole new tactic. It's a whole new way of selling. So you do not have to deceive. You do not have to lie. People are smart nowadays. Back then when you knocked on their door, they were curious. They didn't know what was going on. Next thing you know, they're signing a contract for 3 years and you just made a paycheck. But now they know what you're doing at their doorstep. They know that you're coming there to sell them on something. They understand that. They are agreeing to that. And so when someone sets up an estimate, technicians, I want you to know you are going out there and they are expecting you to sign them up. That's what they're looking for. They want your service. Now, if you're not convinced that you are the guy for them, then they're not going to sign up with you. They're going to go with someone else. If you are convinced that you are the best option for them, you will always win that, okay? So first things first when it comes to sales is you have to be convinced in your service. You have to be convinced in your company. If you're not, change companies, go somewhere else where you can, because you're not going to be able to sell anywhere else. And so you need to be convinced in that. Step 2, you have to work on your appearance. Whether it's showering, making sure that you don't stink, whether it's shaving, whether it's cutting your hair, making sure that your shirt's tucked in, making sure that your shirts are clean, get the stains removed if you can. Use every product out there to get those removed. If there's a laundry service and you're just a dirty worker, which some people are, get new shirts if you're going out to those estimates, or have a spare shirt to hurry and switch out, because first impressions are incredible. I don't know the exact number. I think it's 70% is actually body language that people go off of. And within the first 30 seconds or 60 seconds is what actually makes or breaks the sale. So if you're not presentable within that time frame, they're instantly going to say no to you. So you better be confident, you better be respectful, and you better look good. Or you might just ruin it for that aspect of things. Now, as the conversation goes on, you might be able to regain their trust and their confidence again and close that sale, but you have to know where to guide it. And that is going to the next one, is how you act. So, how you're acting or reacting to them is huge. Now, a lot of people a lot of technicians, I shouldn't say people, technicians will go into houses and they follow. They never lead the conversation. They don't lead the inspection. They don't lead the estimate. They sit back and they allow the customer to tell them where everything is, what they need to do, how to do it, and everything like that. When you are that type of person where you just allow them to walk all over you, you will not sell them because, at the end of the day, they're going to look at you and say, why would I hire that guy? He didn't even know what he was doing. So don't allow that to create, don't allow that to even happen, because if that happens, you are now discredited and you are worth nothing to them. They don't even want your service. So when you go into a house, a main thing is, and how you're acting is part of, interest. Are you actually interested in being there? Are you interested in their problem? Are you interested in pest control? Because if you're not, just walk away. Don't do it. Have someone else go. Save the company some heartache, and allow some other technician to go do those sales. But so when you get to the house, I'll give you just a quick example. So if Mary, we'll say, tells me she has a spider issue in the garage, what I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on that spider issue. I'm not going to focus on rats. She didn't tell me about rats. She doesn't care about rats. So why would I focus on rats? Oh, and our services guarantee rats. That doesn't matter. Don't talk about rats. Don't talk about anything else but spiders. If she brings up anything else, you talk about those other things. But during that conversation, if she says, hey, I'm seeing spiders in my garage, the second I say, right after that is, can I take a look? Can we go to your garage and look around? So I go to the garage, whether I acted or not, it doesn't matter. The point is you're interested, you're showing interest in their concern. You're there to solve a problem. You're a problem solver. And so when you get to that house, you go look in the garage, you go around and you check everything out. They're more than likely going to choose your service because you did those things. I can't tell you how many people I went to their house, I did those things. Afterwards, they said, honestly, I've had 3 other companies come here, and you're the only guy who went and did that. And that's sad in our industry. If you're the technician that goes to the house, you stand on the door, you don't even step in, you don't take interest, you don't talk to them, you don't ask them questions, you just tell them the service prices and leave. I mean, what you're doing them a disservice. They're looking to get pest control. They're looking for you to take care of their problems, and you're not even doing it. That's your job. Your job is to take care of pests. Your job is to take care of problems. And so when it comes to these estimates, that shouldn't be a sales thing. It shouldn't be a scare. It should be, that's what you do for a living. You're explaining it to your mom. What do you say when you explain what you do to your mom? You tell her what you do. I take care of spiders. Well, and then if she asks, well, how do you take care of spiders? You say, oh, well, I use this product. I spray in these areas, and this is how I do it. That's what a customer wants. That's what they want to know. You just have to dumb it down. You're not going to tell them the product name and what the chemical does and how it kills the insect. That doesn't matter. But what they want to know is it's just like if someone was interested in what you're doing. You're on a date, someone asks you. You're going to explain that to them in a way that they can understand it. And you're going to do that same thing with all these customers. So make an interest in their problem. Make an interest in what they're doing. So I'm going to recap real quick, guys. First, you need to be sold on your service, okay? Make sure you are proud of your service, that you are okay with it. If there's a technician you don't like or you don't know or whatever it may be, learn about them and find out if they're a good technician or not so that you can have that confidence in them if they go out and do that job that you sold. 2 is appearance. You got to make sure that you smell good, look good, feel good, everything. Your truck needs to be cleaned out. You have a dirty truck, you're dirty. They're going to look at you and say, how is this guy going to take care of my problem when he can't even take care of himself? So appearance is key. How you act. You need to show interest. You need to be enthusiastic about it. If you're bummed out, you don't want to be there, get out of there. Don't even just tell someone else to go do it. And then you need to also show interest in their problem, in whatever they're seeing. Ants, where? Show me. Let me see. Spiders, where? Show me. Let me see. Cockroaches, where? Show me. Let me see. I want to find this out. I want to see what you're dealing with. And showing that interest. The next problem that we have in this industry, guys, and a huge problem with when it comes to sales is honesty. There's a lot of different methods and there's a lot of different things out there. And so I understand how some things can get manipulated and turned and molded in a certain way. But some things we just don't know. And you have to tell the customer that. You have to be honest. When I go up into an attic and I see droppings, and then I come back down, I can't tell you how many times guys have said that those are fresh droppings. How do you know if those are fresh droppings? Are you going to go crunch them in your fingers? Did you crunch them in your fingers? What did you do to actually find out if those are fresh or not? And honestly, I mean, in all reality, who trains you on freshness of rodent droppings? Because I have yet to find a class that teaches that. So, and I've been to the Rodent Academy and a few other places, and there's no real way to tell. From my knowledge, if anyone knows, please email us. Let me know where you found that information out. But I'm not going to lie to a customer and tell them they're fresh. I'm not going to tell them that there's not rodents, because obviously there's droppings, so there could be rodents. But I'm going to tell them in a way where it's so-and-so, I do see rodent droppings up there. Unfortunately, I don't know how fresh they are. I don't know how old they are. You could have an active infestation. Are you hearing noise? I'm investigating now. And that comes back to the interest. You need to show interest. You need to investigate to find out if there is an active infestation. If they are hearing things, okay, well, obviously they have rodents. If they're not hearing anything, well, let's go to plan B. Let's set some traps up and see if we catch something. If we do, great. We know that you have an active rodent infestation. If we don't, then more than likely you don't have anything, but we still need to seal up the outside of the house to make sure you don't ever get anything inside there or get anything back inside. So you just need to be very honest with them and give them those options. The other thing that comes with it is you have to have options. Now you can ask, well, Daniel, my company doesn't have options. We have a quarterly service and that's it. Well, create options. Make options up. Whether they're ridiculous, whatever it may be, make those options up. They have to have something to choose from. Your sales are going to increase the second you have an array of options, because your one service that costs X amount of dollars isn't going to fit everybody. You need to customize that to other people and to their needs, because every pest need is different. And so if the owners are listening, you need to create multiple services, whether they're the same, they just are priced different or whatever it may be. You need to do that so that customers, have different options to choose from. Because now it's not just, well, do you want our quarterly or not, or our bi-monthly or not? Now it's, well, look, we have a monthly, bi-monthly, and quarterly. Which service best, fits your needs? My opinion, bi-monthly. You may want to save some money and go with the quarterly. What would you like to do? So then they have that option, they have that control. But being honest about what you're doing there, how you're doing things, and in anything. If I do a bed bug estimate and I don't know there's bed bugs there, I tell them, I don't know. I didn't see any active infestation. I didn't see any blood stains. I'm not seeing anything. So this is what we can do. This is the pricing. If you want us to do it, we can do it. But I don't see anything. And so I let them know right then and there whether I see something or not. Because the other thing is, guys, is if you lie to them and you're not honest, you can get yourself into a lawsuit or problems. If some other technician comes out and says, oh, hey, I found a bunch of fleas. And you thought you were getting bed bugs. And this guy charged you thousands of dollars for a bed bug treatment. So make sure that you're honest. The other point that I had, which we already hit, is pricing. But if you have options, that covers everything. Pricing's a huge one, obviously. Some people are price driven. Some people are not. So you have to be able to feel out, the customer, but that's going to be showing interest in the customer. If you're not showing interest in them, you're not talking to them, you're not finding stuff out about them, you're never going to know if pricing's a problem or what it may be. I went to an old lady's house. She had me there. She was not concerned about the pests whatsoever. I was talking to her we were having a great conversation. It was actually her roommate. Her roommate hates insects. So for her, the price actually mattered because there was no value behind what we were doing because she doesn't care what we do. And so it doesn't matter, how much I sell her on this idea, she has zero value behind my service. And so she's going to want the cheapest service that we provide because she doesn't care about bugs. It's her roommate. And so you have to know that is this person interested in pest control or are they not? And where and what service should I push at this time? Actually, not push. What service should I explain at this time? Or should I give her multiple options and allow her to choose? So you need to figure that out, but that is being interested in that person. Now, the next and hardest part of it all, which everybody has issues with, is the close. The close shouldn't actually be that difficult in this situation. So let's go back to the example of spiders inside a garage. So when I go in and, there's spiders inside a garage, I'll go in, I'll look at the spiders, I'll tell them the pricing, I'll tell them what we do, and I'll even let her know, hey, Mary, we can start as soon as today or as soon as you're available. What would you like to do? And that's it. That's how I close it. Literally how I close it. And if she says, yeah, no, I want to do it today, perfect. Let me go contact the office. I'll get everything set up. We'll get the signature from you, payment information, and then we're on your way and we'll get started. That's it. Don't make things awkward. And that comes back to the confidence and, are you convinced in your service? Everyone knows, when it comes to a contract or payment information, everyone knows they have to sign that stuff. It's not a secret anymore. I mean, if you're over the age of 18, you live on your own, how many things have you signed, moving out of your house into an apartment? You have a phone, you sign a contract. When you buy something, you sign a piece of paper, you sign a receipt, you sign a contract saying, I am authorizing this payment. So if you call up the credit card company and say it's fraud, they can come back and say, hey, you signed the receipt. It's your signature. So, think about those things. Signatures are not scary anymore. Nobody cares about them. No one cares about payment information, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO, all those places. Guess what you have to do? Credit card. You want to pay your electric bill? Go and put it on a credit card. So everyone knows that credit card payments, that's just what it is. That's what they do. They whip out their credit card to buy a drink. They whip out their credit card to buy food. So don't make those transactions awkward. So, I gave an example to a guy is, the guy at the counter at McDonald's who takes your order, is he all awkward when he asks you to pay the 30 some odd dollars for your family's food? No, he doesn't care. He just looks at you and, hey, it's $30. What do you want? You want a cash card? What is it? That's all. That's the same thing. You want what service? Okay. Do you want to pay cash, card, check? What is it? So don't make those awkward. Be confident in that and let them understand, hey, this is what's going on. If you have contracts, hey, look, this is the agreement. We guarantee to take care of you as long as you guarantee to pay your bill. Simple as that. You pay your bill. There's nothing against you. Contract means nothing as long as you follow it. So it's just guaranteeing that you're going to keep us and we're guaranteeing that we're going to take care of your bugs. Simple as that. And you can make it that simple. You can use those exact words. I've used those. When anyone, if anyone ever asks me, hey, what's the contract? What is it? Well, the contract, essentially what it is, it's protecting you and it's protecting us. And if they say, well, what do you mean? I'll say, well, you have bugs. We guarantee we're going to come out to take care of them for free. If we don't do that, well, you have that contract to say that we will. And so we'll come out as many times as you need till they're taken care of. Doesn't matter if it's every day, for the next year, we'll do that. And then for us, it protects us because it's saying, hey, you're going to pay us every 2 months to take care of those bugs so that we can guarantee that we'll keep coming out here as many times as you need. So, explaining that in that way, customers look at it as it's a win-win. Oh, you're guaranteeing me a service. Okay, well, then that makes sense why I would sign that. So just don't make it awkward. So a quick recap, guys. Start appearance. Be convinced on your sales, on your service and what you're doing. Act in a manner of respect. Don't deceive, don't lie. Being honest is is huge right now. And, they know you're there to sell them. So don't act as if you're not, okay? Because that's going to lose the sale. They know you're going to come back with a price. They know that they're going to have to sign something. They know they're going to have to pay for something. They know that. The other thing is showing interest in them and then their problem. You need to solve that problem as fast as you can. You're the professional, so you should already know how to and what to do. And you need to allow them to know, you need to tell them that this is what we do for those things, and we can guarantee it. If you can't, don't tell them that, because that goes back to honesty. Don't lie. Tell them to go to another company. We don't take care of termites, so we send all our termite work to another company. And that's just what we do. Have options, pricing. That's huge. You need to allow them to have options. And then coming to the close should be very, very easy. The close should be as simple as, we can get it done today or tomorrow. What would you like? And that's it. Or we have option 1, 2, and 3. Which option would you like? And allow them to decide. But it's just asking them the question. If they say no, who cares? If not, then it doesn't matter. So, you just need to walk away knowing, hey, they have their options. They can choose who they want to go with, and that's okay. And you can even let them know that. But you need to give them those options, at least for them to choose. But that you have to bring up the close. If you never close, you're just going to walk away from the door and say, well, we got to call them back in a week, or they're going to call us. No, that doesn't work, okay? That's bullshit. They never call you back. They never do anything. That's not how that works. So make sure that when you do go in, you are bringing up the close. You are getting them to close, to choose a date, to choose a service, and you need to ask them that, because if they never do, they never will go with your service. They won't. We have a guy who just did that. He's probably going to listen. He did a bed bug estimate, and he said, they'll call us when they're ready. They haven't called us yet. And they probably never will, because we never brought the close to them. We never said, let's get a date set. Without that date set, there's no urgency for them to get the service done. And sometimes people need that nudge. They need someone to make that decision for you. How many times have you talked to your significant other and it's, well, what do you want to eat? We're not we don't want to think. We want them to choose that for us. And majority of people want that. They want us, they want us to choose when to get it done. They want us to choose the service for them. They want us to choose it. That's why we're out there. So make sure you're bringing up that close and taking care of them. So guys, if you have any questions about sales or estimates or anything like that, I didn't get to go into the phone sales or knocking doors or even going into restaurants. I will go into that at a later time, but at least you can start working on your estimates, start practicing your estimates. And one other tip, real quick tip I'm going to throw in there is remember a pitch. Remember something to say to somebody. So whether it's your service, remember your service. Get it down, practice. Say it in the truck while you're driving. Hey, so-and-so, this is what we do. This is how we'll take care of your problem. And then have it all planned out. This is how we're going to take care of your ants. This. These are our guarantees. This. If it's spiders, this is how we're going to take care of your spiders. This is what we do for spiders. And all other pests. If you do ever have anything else, and it's for everything else. But this is what we do for your spiders. So you're going to tailor that. But remember those pitches. Get those down to where you can say those over and over, and it's smooth. It's not It's just really, really smooth. Hey, so-and-so, this is what we do. We take care of the spider webs around the eaves of the home, around the window frames, door frames, garage, fence line. We treat 2 feet up around the property. We also treat all the way out, to the edges of the property as well. We treat the inside for this bug, this bug, this bug, this bug. We have unlimited callbacks. That means if you ever see anything, give us a call. We come back out for free. We're your bug insurance. Simple as that. That's service 1. Service 2, this. So you need to just get that down and memorized. And then make sure, most important thing, overall is close. Today or tomorrow. When can you get it done? I can get started as soon as today. Be enthusiastic about it. Get excited about it. Get ready to get them in. be happy that they're going to join your company and join your route. So guys, just remember those few steps. Go back and listen to it. Go back and practice it. That is going to get your sales close rate through the roof. I promise you it's going to help. If you did not have one of those steps in there, add one of those steps in there. But I'm telling you, most guys don't even close. They say have the office call, or you call the office. It never happens, guys. Super rare that even happens. And your sales is going to drop, and they'll eventually probably just take you off of it. So if you want to make more money, super fast and easy, get these steps down, walk through it, get it done, get them memorized, and I promise you, you're going to see everything, jump up. You're going to be recognized in your company, and you're probably going to be the top closer. All right, guys. Thanks for listening, and we will be back with you shortly with a few other products, and what they're used for, as well as sales tactics on the phone and cold calling. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, this is Anthony, and here's a quick reminder. We want to hear from you, whether you're a technician, owner, or operator. We want to hear your stories, whether it's a horror story on the field, a funny story with the client, or just something straight up crazy or weird you've seen. And how can you do this, you ask? Well, our email is dnapestpodcast@gmail.com. That's DANDA pestpodcast@gmail.com. You can follow us at Twitter and direct message us there at DNA Pest Podcast. That is D, the letter N, A, Pest Podcast. Follow us on Twitter. Or you can reach out directly through our website at dnapodcast.com. That's DANDA podcast.com. We want to hear from you, so let's hear it.